It's a warm welcome to you viewers as we meet on this week's episode of Crime Watch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to inform you of our roles and operations. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandaratsi. It's good to have you along. As we celebrate the Easter holidays, the Commissioner General of Police, Tandavantu Godwin Matanga, issued the ZRP's Easter holiday statement to remind Zimbabweans to take heed of COVID-19 preventive measures and regulations.
As the nation commemorates the Easter holiday, the Zimbabwe Republic Police reminds members of the public that the government's COVID-19 pandemic regulations announced by His Excellency, Head of State and Government and the Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, on the 30th of March 2021 will be enforced without fear or favor. The police will ensure that all visitors to the country will comply with the safety and health measures pronounced by the President. No movements to and from boarding schools by either parents or pupils will be allowed at police checkpoints and roadblocks. May I take this opportunity to warn bars and nightclubs operators that they must religiously comply with the government directive to remain closed. Those who are taking advantage of the public by offering fake COVID-19 certificates will be severely dealt with by the police. The public must take note that special gatherings, which include weddings, churches, and funerals, are still limited to a maximum of 50 people. Wearing of masks is still mandatory, and the curfew order remains effective from 2200 hours to 0530 hours the next morning. We are appealing to all motorists to drive safely during this holiday and avoid overtaking in situations which are not safe to do so. We urge motorists to cooperate with police officers when stopped at roadblocks and checkpoints in order to avoid inconveniences. Police would be checking for various traffic violations, stolen motor vehicles, smuggling of minerals, criminal movements, cattle rustlers, and drug traffickers on all major roads and highways in the country. Stakeholders such as the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe and the Vehicle Examination Department will be working closely with the Zimbabwe Republic Police to make sure that the holidays are accident-free through awareness campaigns and police on errant motorists. Police will impound all defective or unroadworthy vehicles in order to safeguard lives. Members of the public are urged to avoid boarding shika-shika or unregistered vehicles as they risk being manned. The Zimbabwe Republic Police will deploy officers to curtail criminal activities throughout the country through patrols, stop and search, and crime awareness campaigns. The Zimbabwe Republic Police wishes all a happy and accident-free Easter holiday.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police is concerned with people who are still violating COVID-19 preventive measures and recommendations. It is disturbing that despite all the various platforms being used to spread the importance of wearing masks, some people are still being found wanting. On the 30th of March 2021, 1,739 people were arrested for breaching this basic regulation. The total cumulative figure of arrests related to COVID-19 offences rose to 549,968 after 2,253 people were arrested on that particular day. On that same day, 88 were arrested for opening business establishment during national lockdown, except those exempted. Moving on, The Zimbabwe Republic Police is concerned with major cases happening across the country. A Chirezi man aged 57 was struck once on the head with a stone and died on the spot after a misunderstanding. The suspect is under police custody and investigations are underway. In another case, a Murewa man aged 45 was found dead near his girlfriend's homestead at Zihute village. The body was found with a stab wound on the groin and a blood-stained log measuring about 1.2 meters was discovered about 10 meters from the body. The ZRP reiterates that members of the public must resolve their differences amicably without use of violence. Welcome to the second segment of Crime Watch. The Insurance Council of Zimbabwe, ICZ, has partnered Manicaland Civil Protection Committee to pioneer the launch of the Easter Holidays Road Safety Campaign at Magamba Tollgate. The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, who is also the Provincial Road Safety Champion, Honorable Nokuthula Matsikenyere, was the guest of honor.
It is my singular honor and privilege to be officiating at this 2021 Easter Holidays Road Safety Campaign launch under the theme Stop Road Deaths, Stop COVID-19 Third Wave, Ndaramo, Aina Engo. We only live once. Civil protection is a fundamental human right. Therefore, this launch is a worthwhile road disaster and COVID-19 third wave preparedness activity. This launch event, galvanized towards dissemination of road safety information across all our 7 districts in Manicaland, is one of the strategies of achieving the reduction of road accident and fatalities targets. Every 15 minutes, a road traffic collision is happening in Zimbabwe. An average of 5 people are killed and 38 others are injured in our roads in Zimbabwe every day. Our average road traffic deaths, injuries, and property damage result in loss of about $406 million annually. This is approximately 3% of the gross domestic product, GDP. It is disheartening that more than 90% of these road crashes are caused by human error that can be corrected or avoided. Out of all provinces, Manicaland is hardest hit by road disasters from as way back as the worst disaster to ever occur in the Zimbabwean road network. It is against this very sad background that we must rise as a whole province and rethink our road disaster reduction strategies. May I also remind our people that COVID-19 is still with us. Let us all comply with the COVID-19 regulation, that is masking up, social distancing, hand washing, and sanitizing, as well as avoiding unnecessary traveling and crowds. Allow me to wish you all a road disaster and new COVID-19 cases free 2021 Easter holidays.
Us here today is to remind each other the role each and every one of us has to play in ensuring an incident-free Easter period. The Zimbabwe Republic Police affirms its full support and extends its services to all our willing partners. As we pull the road traffic bandwagons together, we are fully deploying our men along the length and breadth of this province to monitor and enforce exemplary conduct by all road users, particularly motorists. We sound a call for all people to comply with all laws that govern conduct directly and indirectly and are linked to the use of our roads and the highways.
Nyaya huru yatinayo ndeyekufamba zvakanaka mumigwagwa. Tiri kuda kuti vachairi vedu vafambe pore pore holiday ino iyi. Tinoda kuti muchengetedze utano hwenyu, muchengetedze upenyu. Musabvuma kuitwe masaga, musabvuma kuitwe overload. Upenyu ndio hwenyu. Tinoda kuti muve neholiday yakanaka, ine utano hwakanaka. Munofanira kupfeka mamaski enyu zvakanaka, kwete kuisiya mhino iri panze. Muvhare, mogeza maoko, kusanitizer zvakanaka. Muchiti kana madrivers akumanya moti aiwa upenyu hahuna engo.
We are here today to support the efforts by government and other stakeholders for road safety as well as preventing COVID. We feel that as ICZ we are better off preventing the accidents before they occur rather than coming in to pay. One of the issues that we needed to work together with partners, especially with law enforcement, is to ensure that the public service vehicles that are on the roads are actually insured in terms of the Road Traffic Act, and I hope that they got that message clear.
While we are raising awareness on road safety, we realize that accidents do happen. The Insurance Council, on behalf of its members, is in the meantime raising awareness on motor insurance in terms of the products that are available, the benefits that accrue to having that insurance cover. We are saying that in the event of an accident, victims should be assisted. Victims should be provided with medical assistance. Infrastructure should be repaired. Motor vehicles that have been damaged should be repaired. But that can only be done when there is insurance. So we are encouraging the public, all the drivers of private and public vehicles, to be compliant with all the insurance requirements of the country.
Kunema human rights, the most important human right is right to life. Kuti ndichikumbira zvakare kuti asamambo mutasa as a former magistrate ndati nyaya yevanhu vanodhiraivha wakadhakwa pamwe vachiuraya vanhu matare ngaone zvekuita wape ma-deterrent sentences.
As a driver, as a passenger, as a pedestrian, as a motorcyclist, you have a role to play for your own safety and the safety of other road users. We always say the tragedy with death is not that things are broken, but the broken pieces cannot be resurrected. Manicaland is the hardest hit by road traffic disasters. According to statistics, the Regina Chell bus disaster, Rusape bus disaster, my roads in Manicaland are a hazard on their own because ndo kwa mno tukuma komoyo, ndo patinopinda mabiribo biti chikeva, hatigoni kutwasanudza makeva ya, tinotwasanudza fungwa za driver. Ndo patoti as a driver, come let us reason together. This story is not for your own consumption. You spread it to others. So we want every family, every church, every workplace to have a road safety champion, like I am for the African continent, elected, appointed, to make sure that every day, constant knocking, smooth as the rock.
Zuro, ndi zuro, zuro wane zuro. Zuro wamarimwe zuro, zuro wakuswera ne zuro. Hama dzedu dzemuberevere dzakapukutwa, dzaridimuka mudzimotokari. Vamuchikairi kukangana chane zuro nehope kutochikaira zvawo wamboro wachikari nhai vamuchikairi zvamunochikaira mamboro wachikari tarisai muone mhuri dzosara dzisina vatariri magagashira chero nezuro havana kumagashira vakareva varevazve nhasi ndorevazve handisi mafira kureva bodo kumhanya sandiko kusvika.
Welcome to the third and final segment of Crime Watch. The Criminal Investigations Department Vehicle Theft Squad is concerned with a disturbing trend where vehicles are being stolen only to be recovered without some car parts.
Of recent, we've realized that there's an increase of these cases, and we've got also a number of these motor vehicles which are stolen and they are later on recovered while their car parts have been stripped. And of recent, we've got a case in which a Toyota Corolla was stolen in Glenview area, and the complainant had left the car keys in the motor vehicle. So the motor vehicle was later on recovered with most of its car parts stripped.
Moving on to traffic issues, let us join Elliot Kuzai Ganyani as he speaks to Mr. Ernest Muchena of the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe regarding the reopening of all driving schools.
Now, the easing of the national lockdown regulations has also seen the reopening of the driving school subsector. But everyone is still expected to adhere to the World Health Organization's protocols and guidelines with respect, of course, to the COVID-19 pandemic. I have the Acting Director of Operations Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe, Mr. Ernest Muchena, to unpack this subject with a particular reference to the prevailing environment. Now, Mr. Ernest Muchena, the Cabinet has authorized the reopening of driving schools. What have you done as the regulator to curb the possibility of spread of COVID-19 during lessons for driving?
The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe and the Ministry of Transport convened a meeting in Harare where associations representing instructors and driving schools were represented, and also such departments as the Vehicle Inspection Department and the Road Motor Transportation. The Cabinet approved the standard operating procedures were discussed at this meeting. We looked particularly at the statutory instrument, the 102 of 2020, which requires that before opening an institution, all the members of staff must be tested for COVID-19.
Has there been some kind of inspection or an operation to make sure that all the driving schools that are operating right now as we speak have followed those procedures?
We have already inspected quite a number of schools, and the list of schools that have been approved, that have complied with the standard operating procedures, are available on our website. As we went to inspect the driving schools, the first thing that we requested for were COVID-19 certificates for members of staff of that driving school. Each driving school is expected to have a hand sanitizer available at the entrance of the driving school. They should also have an alternative of soap and water, as some people may not be interested in using hand sanitizers. And they should be clearly labeled that you cannot enter the driving school without a face mask. You must also wash your hands or sanitize your hands. We went also to check whether each of the driving schools has a non-contact infrared thermometer. So upon entering a driving school, the learner, the applicant, or any visitor to the driving school will have to maintain social distance. They are expected also to be entered into a register which must be maintained on a daily basis, so that it will be very easy in terms of WHO protocols to do contact tracing in the event that someone who has been in contact with the driving school has got COVID-19. We also had to check on the room to ensure that there are windows that can open, there's proper ventilation, and also use of sanitizers when they are exchanging things such as bank cards and all that.
Now, I understand that you work with various stakeholders, of course the police included among other sectors, to enforce law as far as this issue of driving schools is concerned. Previously, we have seen some people flouting these regulations. Even during the national lockdown, when we were still in level 4, you'd see some people operating, against this kind of requirement. What have you put in place, or what measures have you put in place to make sure that these people are brought to book?
During the lockdown, the Traffic Safety Council had also closed in compliance with the announcement by the President that we were level 4, but there are some unscrupulous driving schools that continued to operate. These were in violation of lockdown regulations, and the Zimbabwe Republic Police managed to have quite a number of arrests where such driving schools were arrested and they were made to pay a fine. And also, as they join the sector, we have got a code of ethics that they have to adhere to. You do not want to see a situation where some people were violating a presidential announcement and they were duping students by making them go through the paces, and then at the end of the day, maybe the provisional driver's license is expired and that person is unable to get a driver's license. So in violation of that code of ethics, we are going to take stern measures against those driving schools. We have actually received reports from individuals who were being made to undergo lessons whilst we were not able to test them at the VID, and we are going to take stern measures, disciplinary measures against those driving schools. But in view of the COVID-19 regulations and guidelines that have been provided at this particular moment, we are going to carry out a joint operation with the Zimbabwe Republic Police, where we are going to check on whether someone is following the standard operating procedures and whether someone is in compliance with S13E11 of 1985. We do not want to find people who are not trained instructors operating in the industry, driving schools that are not registered operating in the driving schools subsector. So maybe I would like to warn those owners that are out there to ensure that they comply with standard operating procedures that have been approved by Cabinet, and to also ensure that they are adhering to SI 309 of 1985.
Yes, the police will account for anyone found wanting, breaching clearly laid down procedures of operation. You have heard it from the horse's mouth. Driving schools have reopened, but they are clearly laid down procedures of operation that are expected to be adhered to at all times.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, here are some of the people on the police wanted list. Police is appealing for information that may help in investigating a suspected hit-and-run road traffic accident which led to the deaths of Mabuko Melus and another yet to be identified male adult along Lomagundi Road near Greencroft Shopping Center, Harare, on the 30th of March 2021. Edmo Zinyoro, also known as Edi Muchada of Murevachimwe Village, Chief Chitsa Gutu, whose last known address is 3156 Simbi Park, Kwekwe, is wanted by CID VTS Blawayo. You can contact them on 0292 64047. Anyone with information that may help in the location of these people can contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. Visit our website www.zrp.gov.zw. Email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Alternatively, you can link with us on our Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe or like our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. Be reminded that all Crime Watch episodes are accessible on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. We have come to the end of this week's episode. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Tendekai Dandarasi, and the crew behind the scenes, we say continue to wear your face mask, sanitize regularly, and maintain social distancing at all times. Until we meet again next time, pleasant viewing.